In just a few minutes, small business owners can now sign up for Blackfoot Communication Services. Whether it's dependable voice options or internet services, sign up simply by visiting blackfootsmallbusiness.com. Click on the services you wish, select an installation time and date, and you're done. Small business services at the touch of your fingers. Connect to more with Blackfoot Communications and blackfootsmallbusiness.com.
Hello, everybody. Colter Nuanez, Skyline Sports. Thanks for following along. Always check out SkylineSportsMT.com for your latest and greatest Montana State, Montana, Big Sky Conference, and Football Championship Subdivision coverage. We're into the round of 16 in the FCS playoffs, and we got a couple Big Sky Conference teams clashing in Bozeman. Unfortunate that two of the top, I would say, 8 or 9 teams in the country, and if you look at the rankings, Montana State number 4, Weber State number 9, have to square off in the round of 16. But you got to play the best to get to the end of the road here. So should be a fun one, and certainly a huge storyline in this one is the rematch, given how crazy this game was between these two teams during the regular season. On October 22nd, not only did Grant Sands snap the ball out of the back of the end zone 4 times, leading to 4 safeties that benefited Montana State, but also a kick return and a punt return for touchdowns in the same quarter for Weber State, and 273 rushing yards for Tommy Malott, a whole bunch of drops by Weber State's receivers. It was totally crazy. In my opinion, you throw that matchup out, you start fresh, because neither one of the teams played like their identity in that game. So we'll see what sort of tone, what sort of identity plays out in Bozeman on Saturday. Here's some players to watch for the Weber State Wildcats. We've covered them a bunch this year. I've seen them live and in person a handful of times. I guess several times, you should say. And so got a pretty good gauge on these guys. And they got a bunch of really, really explosive playmakers. That is always a trademark of Jay Hill's teams, especially when it comes to running backs and kick returners. And they got some elite ones again. The reemergence of Josh Davis, I think, makes Weber an actual, real national title threat if he is actually really back to his top form. He was an All-American multiple times, but has struggled with a whole ton of injuries these last couple years. But he rushed for 129 yards last week in Weber's 38-31 win over North Dakota in the first round of the FCS playoffs. So if he's truly back in a full capacity and he can give you 15 to 20 carries a game, and you pair that with Dante McMillan and Damon Bankston, and now all of a sudden you got a true three-headed monster with 3 truly elite running backs. I think all 3 of these guys are all Big Sky caliber type running backs. And if any of them was a true feature, I think they'd be maybe first team all caliber, or first team all league, caliber type running backs. McMillan's rushed for 745 yards this year. Bankston's rushed for 693 yards this year. And after last week, Davis is over 600 yards as well. So those 3 guys, almost 2,000 yards between the 3 of them. And that's where it starts with Weber State. They also have a great offensive line, and also have great tight ends led by Justin Malone, who's a really good player, and good to see him back. I remember when he blew his knee against Montana in Missoula back in November of 2019, a devastating injury. But he's back to full strength, and he's a really good player, two-way tight end who can block and catch on the perimeter as well. Bronson Barron, the quarterback, he took the proverbial next step this last season. He threw for almost 2,500 yards and 20 touchdowns. They want to lean on the run game a bunch, so it all comes down to Bronson Barron throwing that inside slant in the RPO game and throwing that back shoulder fade down the field. But he's a talented guy with great arm strength. I still think he's a ways away from being a truly elite quarterback, but he's a very good player, and he's a talented guy as well. And his go-to guy on the outside, Ty McPherson. He's a second-team All-Big Sky selection this last season. Finished 8th in the league in receptions with 53, 3rd in the league in yards with 941, and had 10 touchdown grabs, which ranked 2nd in the Big Sky Conference this last season.
Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. Shorty what you want, shorty what you need. My niggas run game, we ain't never leave. Counting up this money, we ain't never sleeping. Got V12s, I got 12V. Got bottles, got weed, got Molly. I'm all the way up. Shorty, what you want? I got what you need. Shorty, what you want? I got what you need.
Defensively, players to watch for Weber State include Eddie Heckard, who's one of the best corners in the league. He is now a 3-time first-team All-Big Sky selection after getting a first-team All-League nod this last month, which then puts him in the rare air of having an opportunity. As only a junior, he gets it one more season to be in that hallowed and incredibly exclusive 4-time first-team All-Big Sky selection group. I think there's only been a handful of guys, a couple of them from Weber. The 2 guys that I know were first-team All-League 4 times in their careers. Trevin Smith, the late great running back from Weber State in the late 2000s, who tragically passed away last year, and also Scott Shields, who's one of the most diverse players in the history of the Big Sky, a guy that was a multiple-way player, an all-league defensive back and an all-league punter. So Eddie Heckard certainly in the mix for that 4-time first-team All-Big Sky designation. The other guy you have to highlight is Abraham Williams. He gets some playing time in the defensive secondary, but it's his ability to return kicks that really has him as a stalwart, potential multiple-time All-American. The guy's got 4 kick returns for touchdowns this year already. One of them was against Montana State in that game in Bozeman in October. And all 4 of his kick returns for touchdowns of the 100-yard variety. That is an all-time NCAA record already. And his 4 kick returns in a single season, also an all-time Big Sky Conference record already. So you definitely don't want to kick to him. And the last guy we'll highlight from Weber State defensively is Winston Reed. He's a outstanding inside linebacker, 6'1", 230 pounds, absolutely looks the part as a junior. I think he'll definitely get some shots in the NFL. He was certainly a top contender for Big Sky Conference defensive MVP. Had 101 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, plus he forced 4 fumbles, had a fumble recovery, and he had an interception as well. So he stuffs the stat sheet, and he's definitely one of the tone setters there on the front 7 for Weber State. Wildcats in Bozeman, 1 p.m. kickoff from Bobcat Stadium on Saturday. The winner advances to the quarterfinals of the FCS playoffs, and the loser will go home despite having 10 wins already going into the game. Each of these teams, 10-win teams already. So impressive seasons for them so far, and we very much look forward to the rematch. You can check out all the coverage leading up to, during, and after at Skyline Sports MT on Twitter or at SkylineSportsMT.com on your interwebs. I appreciate you for following along. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already. That helps us a bunch with our advertisers and our exposure. And keep on following along. Thanks for being here. Colter Nuanez, Skyline Sports, SkylineSportsMT.com. Skyline Sports every day, every season. Have a good one.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.